The atmosphere inside the View studio was charged from the moment the audience filed in. People knew they were about to witness something interesting. After all, Denzel Washington doesn't often make daytime talk show appearances. The two-time Academy Award-winning actor is famously private, measured in his words, and selective about the platforms he engages with. Yet here he was, sitting across from Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, and the rest of the panel, ready to discuss his latest film, his personal faith, and the broader role of Hollywood in shaping societal norms. At first, the conversation flowed easily. Denzel greeted the audience warmly, flashing that signature smile that has disarmed critics and captivated fans for decades. He spoke about his new project, the months of preparation that went into it, and how certain roles challenge him not just as an actor, but as a human being. He also opened up about his personal beliefs, the importance of discipline, family structure, and staying true to one's values in an industry that often rewards compromise. The crowd was engaged, hanging on to his every word. But as the discussion turned toward deeper cultural topics, the energy began to shift. Denzel spoke about the decline of certain moral values in society and the responsibility individuals have to make better choices regardless of circumstances. His words were firm yet thoughtful, delivered in that calm, authoritative tone that has made him such a commanding presence on screen. Joy Behar, however, was not entirely in agreement. Leaning forward in her chair, she interjected with a pointed question. "Denzel, don't you think you're oversimplifying things? Not everyone can just choose a better life when the system is stacked against them." Her words were laced with both challenge and conviction, and the audience reacted with a soft murmur. Denzel paused for a moment, processing her comment. His posture stiffened slightly, and he looked directly at Joy. "I'm not speaking from a place of privilege or theory," he began, his voice gaining an edge. "I've seen the struggle firsthand. I grew up in an environment where the odds were against us, but I also saw people rise above it. Faith, discipline, and community, those things matter. They save lives." The back and forth intensified. Joy countered with examples of systemic barriers, interrupting him mid-sentence to press her point. That was when the first visible crack in Denzel's composure appeared. His voice rose, not into a shout, but into a commanding boom that filled the room. He told Joy in no uncertain terms that constantly emphasizing obstacles without acknowledging personal agency was dangerous. "If we keep telling people they can't win," he said, "then they'll start believing it." The audience gasped. Some clapped in agreement, others remained silent, clearly sensing the tension. Whoopi Goldberg, ever the seasoned moderator, tried to lighten the atmosphere with a joke, but it barely landed. The moment had already taken root. Denzel and Joy were locked in a very public clash of philosophies. From there, Denzel dug deeper into his perspective, explaining that while systemic issues are real, they should not erase the truth that individuals have the power to choose, to push forward, to change their circumstances. Joy, clearly not ready to concede, responded with a half-smile and a sharp remark that drew nervous laughter from the audience. Behind the scenes, producers were reportedly exchanging frantic glances, unsure if they should cut to commercial. But the live nature of the View meant the cameras kept rolling, capturing every charged second. The conversation eventually cooled, with Denzel softening his tone and even smiling again, though his eyes still carried the fire of the debate. By the end, he extended his hand to Joy. She shook it, but the exchange was brief, with an unspoken acknowledgement that their disagreement would not be resolved in those few minutes on air. The moment the show cut to commercial, the internet lit up. Within minutes, clips of the clash were trending across social media. Hashtags like Denzel on the View, Joy vs Denzel, and Respect the Legend began appearing on Twitter and Instagram. Fans flooded comment sections, with many praising Denzel for speaking his mind unapologetically, while others sided with Joy, arguing that his stance lacked nuance. Entertainment blogs rushed to post think pieces dissecting the clash. Some painted it as an overdue conversation about personal responsibility versus systemic accountability, while others called it an example of how daytime TV still manages to produce moments of raw, unscripted reality in an age dominated by carefully curated sound bites. No matter where viewers stood, one thing was undeniable. The tension, the passion, and the collision of two strong-willed personalities had created a moment that would be replayed, analyzed, and debated for weeks. And in the unpredictable,